three-piece suit that he wears much better than Eli Drinkwitz.
I just did a live show in my hotel room with really gold and brown curtains, and it was dark. It looked like I was in the back room of an Italian restaurant ready to strike some deals.
Yeah? Did you feel good about that?
No, I didn't. I felt pretty seedy.
We've been talking about how much you've lost a ton of weight. We all know it. Congratulations. But we're on a food topic now.
That's old news.
But we're on a food topic now, so I need you to channel the old Brandon a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Wings, flats or drummies?
I have no idea what you just said.
Wings.
I'm gonna be completely honest here. Boneless wings.
Those are chicken nuggets. What's wrong with you?
Chicken nuggets, and I'm not.
You're
a
a
wing
child.
Guy. I am. I'm not a wing guy.
All right.
I have no idea what you just said. Flats.
Flats.
It's like the little
the other piece of the wing
together that are really messy and it's hard to get the meat off of.
Yeah, nuggets.
All right then.
There was a lot that was said today from the room directly below us. Is there anything that was said that grabbed your attention?
Greg Sankey saying that they're happy with 16 teams, but their ears are still open. And I also thought it was interesting. He mentioned 2 or 3 times that geography is still important to him.
Mm-hmm.
He said that
they're big on contiguous.
Well, yeah, it's a big word.
Also means touching.
Yes.
We had to look it up before.
Well, someone said, well, Notre Dame could join because it touches Kentucky.
And Indiana absolutely.
Ohio. Look at Ohio State.
Ohio State. No, I thought that was interesting, especially with what's going on with the Pac-12 teams and the Big 12 trying to go in and take 4 of those Pac-12 South teams. It certainly sounds like the SEC would never be interested in any of those schools, but they would be interested in those ACC schools, at Florida State and Clemson. But he also said today, go figure your crap out before you come to us calling, hey, would you be interested? We're not even going to start talking to you. You tell us, hey, we got this settled, we figured it out, then we'll start talking.
You said Florida State and Clemson. Do you think
Miami.
Those are the ACC schools? You think it's more that than North Carolina, Virginia?
Virginia Tech would be one to really keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech has had some really good relationships with the SEC dating back to 92 when they had their first expansion, and of course back in 2010. And then there's been rumors and discussions being had in the background among Virginia Tech folks. Now,
that's a cultural fit.
Yes, very much so. And it's one that would, back in the days, I guess, when TV markets really mattered, Virginia Tech was pretty attractive to the SEC for a time. And it didn't happen, but at some point, I think Virginia Tech will re-enter the chat, so to speak.
You could argue that you get more out of the D.C. market with Virginia Tech than you do with Virginia, I think.
I think so, yes. And like you said, culturally it fits them. But also, if Virginia Tech's going to come, unless you've got Virginia Tech partnered with, like you said, North Carolina or maybe Clemson, then they would have to partner with Virginia, and it'd have to be a deal there because you're dealing, again, with the political spectrum in the state there. In fact, I've talked to people at Virginia about that, at the University of Virginia, about the idea that if Virginia joining the SEC is not that far out there, but it would probably have to come with them partnering themselves, Virginia, with North Carolina or Virginia Tech, and there's a lot of pressure there politically among state reps that it would have to be Virginia Tech. And that's something, again, like I always go back to what Greg said. I'm going back to what Greg Sankey said today. Figure your stuff out first.
Yeah.
And then come to us.
All right, so let's just stick with this for a second. I would make the argument that after Notre Dame, North Carolina is the single most attractive program that's out there. You don't have to agree with that. But if you believe that North Carolina is the most attractive and you believe you're not getting Notre Dame, do you put together some sort of a package where you say, hey, we're willing to take North Carolina, Virginia Tech, and somebody else, Clemson, Florida State, Duke, whoever you want to throw in there as the fourth, so that you can get the team that you really, really want?
Oh, yeah, certainly. I mean, look at Mizzou and Texas A&M. I don't think the SEC ever really saw or sees Mizzou as a fit, to be quite honest. Texas A&M was, because it stretched their reach into Texas, and A&M has the money to be successful, and they had the commitment to do so. I'm not so sure Mizzou had as great of a plan going into the SEC and was presented to the SEC as much, but they had a partner, They had a dance partner to dance into the SEC, and that was Texas A&M. That helped Mizzou out. And along those lines, yes, if you want to get into the SEC, if you're a Virginia, go try to find you a really big dance partner that would make sense for you, and the SEC will be able to listen.
Yeah, or maybe 3 of them, where if you have 4 that leave, you kind of blow up the ACC. Who knows how that shakes out. Visiting with Brandon Marcello from 24/7 Sports, covers college football at the national level, but obviously focuses here in the Southeast as well. Lane Kiffin today. Ole Miss coming off a 10-win season a year ago. Sugar Bowl appearance, most wins. Going to look different, going to feel different, but it kind of felt like the same Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, same Lane Kiffin. Also the same line of questions. 3 of his first 4 questions dealt with Alabama and or Nick Saban. And he called him out on that. I thought that was funny. I did also think it's interesting to point out that a lot of folks just kind of assume Lane Kiffin's offense is going to score points. They're going to win games this year. But it's almost like he keeps trying to throw like a caution flag out there by going, slow down.
Yeah, but
we don't have our quarterback situation figured out. And we're replacing some pieces. Now, we do return some guys, but there's a lot to figure out here. And, talking to people that know Ole Miss and people who know those quarterbacks, that is very much, I believe, Luke Altmaier's job to lose going into 2-a-day practices. Do we still do 2-a-days, by the way?
No,
no.
Actually don't.
Going into practices.
Into camp.
And I think Jackson Dart's got a long road to follow to be able to be the starter at Ole Miss.
I'm not sure if I would agree that Altmaier's to lose, but I think he's in a really good position.
Yeah, I think it's his to lose, in my opinion. I don't think there's a lot of confidence in Jackson Dart being a consistent down-to-down quarterback that you can count on to complete more than 65% of his passes.
And also not force it. Exactly. Because to me, based on very, very small sample size in the spring, but there was a lot of I'm forcing to make the play, and while Gunslinger's fun, Gunslinger can get you beat also.
Can get you beat, but it also, listen, you just had a quote-unquote gunslinger quarterback at Ole Miss, but he was very consistent and took what defenses gave him. I'm not sure Jackson Dart is developed his mental part of the game to that point yet at all.
Tomorrow, Mississippi State and Mike Leach will be here. We talking amongst ourselves. We believe that the media here, for whatever it's worth, is going to pick Mississippi State 6th in the West. Should they be?
Well, there's an argument to be made. There's like 4 or 5 teams that might finish last. You could say you finish last in the SEC West. I think Mississippi State's in a position now. Mike Leach has his breakthrough years in year 3 or year 4. He's got the talent and the personnel to